Hi, my name is Tony Selzo, here on The Buzz with Dan Fields and the Fields Group. Dan, I got a chance to talk to you about a couple things a couple of disciplines we try to teach our rainmakers. And one of the things that we try to do with our members is really get in tuned with your niche and really know what your company is best of breed at. And that's one of the things I really admire about your business. I mean, you've got a nice, clean, articulately defined niche. And you know, one of the things that always comes up is there's always I always ask, who's your competition? Mm-hmm. And you were telling me, well, and what's the 800-pound gorilla in your space? What was it again?
Merritt's.
Merritt's, and then Merritt's does soup to nuts incentive. They're all over the board. They do the one-off piece, and they do the guys that are doing 150 people on a destination. Is that fair?
That's true. Now,
you guys have a really tight niche in your business at the Fields Group. You come in from sales incentive or from travel incentive, and you probably find companies 95% of the time that have already identified that travel incentive is part of their sales growth strategy. Is that fair?
Yes.
And then you were telling me before, what is it that you called it?
Well, we're technically classified as a travel fulfillment company.
Now, what does that mean for Homer Simpson?
Well, for Homer, it would be it would mean that we after a company has already defined that they want travel incentive as part of their marketing plan.
Sure.
That we come in and we'll work with their budgets. We'll find what their parameters are, and custom design a travel program to meet their needs.
Just because they probably came to you with budget, maybe even destination sometimes.
Sometimes.
Or you'll offer the destination choices based on their budget.
Yes.
So that process is really you're not going in like probably Merritt's would do and bill for the ideas.
True. No.
You're saying, look, give us the resources. We're gonna most cost effectively manage those resources to get you the most bang for the buck. Is that fair?
True. Yes.
Now, I want you to know how disciplined and how hard that is to do as a rainmaker, as a business owner, is to not hear those wedding bells when you hear somebody that might be a potential target, and then go call on every Tom, Dick, or Harry that meets that criteria, right?
Sure.
So you've had to build your business by really taking care of your customers for the long term, right?
Right.
Now, how much of your business comes from referral?
Well, it's probably about 90%.
90% of your businesses come from referral.
Right.
Now, what percentage of that do you think comes from your customer base?
It's hard to say, but I can tell you that being in business for 15 years, we've got a very good loyal clientele that have been there, and that we do get some referrals through those customers on occasion, but I would say it's just a matter of constantly building up that reputation.
Sure. Well, and I think you get some pretty in-depth long-term relationship with your clients.
Right.
I mean, their personal lives. I mean, for you to travel with them that many times every year, I mean, they got to be family, right?
You know what? I've traveled with many people more than my family. I can tell you that much.
Wow. And so you got to develop some pretty good relationships.
Oh, of course.
I tell you, Dan's got that rare personality that you can spend a week, on travel with and still like him at the end of the week.
Nice.
So how did again? I kind of peppered you with this a little earlier on the other buzz, but how did this come to play that you thought that this would be an actual business?
Well, my brother was actually working for a competitor of ours, many years ago, and he got to know that part of the industry and that side in order to for us to develop this idea on our own. So it wasn't necessarily a new idea. We kind of borrowed it and were able to get some clients.
So you knew the model, you knew the revenue model, you knew how to manage it that way.
Right.
Now your brother, family-owned business. How many players do you have in the Fields family?
There were 4 of us total.
Okay.
I am actually the owner of the company now. I bought my brother out of the company 2 years ago.
Okay.
But my father is still chairman of the board and very much involved in the company.
Cool. Right here in Indiana, family-owned business, Fields Group, 15 years.
15 years.
Now, if you want to make a referral to the Fields Group, probably going to be a business. What is your lowest sales size that you work with?
Well, I would say groups of 20 or more is really the ideal.
So someone's got to be able to afford 20 or more to go on international or national travel. They're probably looking to spend 30, 40K. Is that fair?
That's fair.
So 30, 40 carrying up. If you're looking at a marketing budget, it's probably going to be 5% of that, 10% of that, if you would.
Sure.
So you're probably at about 3.5 million or more for the size of your business, right?
True, that's about right.
And then, but they probably got a high margin product. They're probably dealing with salespeople, distributors, right?
Correct.
Or they're doing incentives to regions or areas for the highest performers. Is that
Right,
fair?
yes.
But it's all about sales incentive, and they're usually have a demonstrated history of using travel before.
Correct.
Then that's a great referral for the Fields Group. You've been on the buzz. Thanks
All
very
right.
much, Dan.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.